like with especially like in LA and stuff. It's like a lot of, I'll say, younger boys are now seeing what some of these men are doing, and sometimes it's not the best role model to be looking up to, but they still do, and they're saying and repeating some of the things that they're saying.
Afrobeat second or an Afrobeat minute, because Afrobeat has become very influential, like especially in America. And I know, you probably grew up when you started seeing this change happening. What did that do for Nigerians? Of course, there was all those negative stereotypes with Nigerians, but what did the infusion of Afrobeats into the culture and even into the U.S. mainstream do for Nigerians?
I would say it helped the artists in Nigeria a lot more get their music out. But what I will say is a lot of us Nigerians are starting to feel the westernization of our music, and we're starting to really not appreciate it, especially when we have remixes of very popular songs with artists that nobody expected to see on those songs, especially like Selena Gomez with Rema on Calm Down. Nobody wanted it, nobody asked for it. Or when we had
that other guy, Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran on what was it called?
So you're saying Nigerians don't like?
We don't hate it because it's very good. Like we're getting a lot more music and a lot more sources of music nowadays, and social media has helped a lot, because I will find an artist on social media before I even see it on a streaming app, and that's how we find a lot of artists now on social media. But I'll say the westernization of Afrobeats is starting to annoy us, especially like Burna Boy with his last project. We saw the westernization in a very prominent artist that we didn't expect to see it in.
Oh wow, that's an interesting perspective. Like when Brad was here, we had this conversation off camera. And it's sad that because he was talking about Afrobeats, and he was saying it's very important for Nigeria to try and take control of all the parts, from how the music is made to everything that's supporting it, because it's being taken away piece by piece.
It's slowly being taken away. And the artists, what I would say is, with the westernization of the music, you can take it to other markets and market it easier, if that makes sense, and they're able to make more money. And I think that's where a lot of people are starting to see the disconnect. It's like you're not making music for the same reasons that you were making music before. Okay. You're now making it for the money, which we don't appreciate.
Okay. But now you're going to start listening to Kenyan music?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I've been listening to the little mixes.
Okay. And we want you to know more than Sauti Sol.
Yeah, I definitely. If I'm ever back here, I'll definitely know more.
Yes,
tons more. You're coming back soon because...
No, you're coming back. There's someone actually who was asking, Washeke, what did Washeke say? Washeke, I can't see, but Washeke said something to the effect that she had so many questions to ask, and you guys have...
they like us.
I think next time when they come back, I think it'll be more of a call and answer question.
Yes. There was something that I wanted to talk about still, but
we never got.
No, I know. But if there's any one particular issue that you feel we missed out, what exactly is it? Just one, and then we're gonna schedule another interview.
I just wanted to say this one thing this was a talk spoke about a while ago in the conversation, but I didn't have a chance to bring it up.
Yeah.
Parents of children under the age of 15. Please do not allow them to have social media until they are like 15, 14, 15.
But don't just say because I said so. Please just explain why. And that's one thing I want to say. If a child is asking why, please just explain.
Because saying because I said so does nothing. To me, that just fulfills the toxic authority thing that I was talking about earlier. Explain. But yeah, the social media one, just don't do it, because all these kids are already on it right now. Like, what's the generation after us is Gen Alpha, right?
Gen Alpha.
They're already cooked.
Or if you do have them have social media, please just watch and let them know the dangers let them know, because what they do post nowadays is there forever. Like, I know people who are still embarrassed of things that they posted back in high school, and they were at least at that point they were allowed to have phones and stuff.
Like, our group of Gen Z, our parents were too lenient about it in the beginning. Way too lenient.
And we were exposed to
the parents didn't quite,
because they didn't know.
They didn't know it. And we were exposed to things that a child should
not be exposed to. So I just want to stress this. Like, I already know a lot of these kids, especially little kids, like elementary school kids, their parents letting them get on TikTok, letting them get on Instagram. Don't do it. Wait till middle school, like 7th grade. Yeah, 7th grade.
What's the biggest danger to a kid who's overexposed to social media at an early age?
Desensitized to things that should be.
They should
not be desensitized.
Or things
to.
They're seeing.
Is there like any
also
examples?
Confidence issues because social media obviously portrays a lot of falseness, right? And like beauty standards and stuff like that.
Filters,
body image, plastic surgery. So like being 11 years old and seeing like the projection of how like beautiful black women look like, right? As a kid, like that hasn't even gone through puberty, being like, okay, I need to look like that, and then you're aging and you're realizing you're not looking like that. That does damage, serious damage.
I'll say like the toxic celebrity culture that we see, especially like with, especially like in LA and stuff. It's like a lot of, I'll say younger boys are now seeing what some of these men are doing, and sometimes it's not the best role model to be looking up to, but they still do, and they're saying and repeating some of the things that they're saying. But when you hear them say it, it's like you're not supposed to be even like understanding or knowing what this is quite yet.
And also on top of the social media, also what they watch and what they intake, because recently there's been a lot of content creators who like spew a lot of just like nonsense, incelish, hateful, just bigotry, right? And
they
have
a kid fan
base. They have a kid fan base. Like their fan base is like 9 to 13-year-old boys, right, who are going to become men. So during these formative years, they're intaking these ways to perceive women, these ways to perceive sexuality, gender roles, and such, and being like, okay, so and so said this on that podcast, on that Twitch stream, and he has money, so I need to be like him, and it's just downhill from there. And that's literally a pandemic happening right now, because so many little kids I speak to, I'm like, where did you learn that? And they're like, oh, I saw it on Twitch. Parents, please monitor everything your kids are doing on the internet.
But don't helicopter.
Don't helicopter it, but like, it also an age.
What is helicopter?
Okay, helicopter means when you're overbearing, like
you're hovering right above.
You put
them.
those like restrictions on there. You don't let them like text their friends. You put those, what are those things called, locked app thing?
Yeah, like
that's OD. Don't do that.
Because at that point, the child is going to want to go around.
Yeah, the desire to betray. That's why I think the best solution is to just not give access to it until they are smart enough to know and to digest it. So that's why I say like 14, 15. But like under there, it's like, no, don't do that.
I'll be honest with you guys.
Would I be wrong in still insisting thus or ergo the conversations need to start from the age of 5?
No, you're not. You're not. You're
like,
correct.
That's what I'm saying. So from 5, such that, because you have to prepare. And again, you're listening to the Gen Zers. You prepare these kids from when they're 5, such that when they get to 12, 13, already a foundation has been set.
And also, like, if you prepare a child when they're 5, right, and you teach them the correct morals and the correct way to view things by having these conversations that will mold them as an adult, if they do see bigotry on the internet, they'll know it's wrong, and they'll know this is not correct. Yeah. That's the problem. Like, you can't wait till your kid is old to start telling them what's right and wrong about things.
That also goes back to like getting rid of toxicity within the house. Like, if you and your spouse are having issues. Try
keep it private.
Keep it private.
Keep it away from the kids.
Show the right behaviors in front of the children, because they do copy you. An example, go out and copy what you do. Yeah. So if you have toxicity within the home, they're gonna go outside and do the exact same thing. Or they're gonna grow up and do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Now the one last thing that I've put up my hand and I've said I do not understand this, and maybe you guys can help me understand. And some of it emanates from social media, is this identity thing, like I'm a guy, but I want you to identify me as a woman, and that's that. And that's something that I personally failed to, I'm always open to trying to understand and learn. But this fluidity that a boy can identify as a girl, and people are going to start selecting pronouns. That's why I love our languages, because it's not an issue. There are no genderized pronouns. There's no he, she. It's the same for everyone. So what is it that parents need to understand about this? Not judging anyone, but what is it that parents need to understand this? Because your kids are going to confront you with this. Or what do parents need to know?
So, okay, this is just I've explained this so many times. This is just the way that I've figured out is the most digestible way for you guys to understand this concept. You don't have to understand it. You just have to accept it. Like, that's just how I see it. Like, if gender identity, at the end of the day, if it's not your gender identity, it doesn't have anything to do with you. So you should not let it affect you to the point where you are disagreeing or getting upset or allowing your children or people around you to feel like they cannot be comfortable with their identity around you. Like, it should just be one of those things where it's like, okay, for example, right? If you see somebody walk into a room, right, with like 1 million tattoos, you might be like, well, that's a bit, but like, that's where it should end. You should not be like, oh my God, you need to go remove them. Oh my God, I don't understand. I don't support it. At the end of the day, it's their body. At the end of the day, it's their way of expressing themselves. So I feel like a lot of African parents have this like innate desire to like understand, but I need to know why.
No, but I'm talking about if it's
like,
your child, you know, like who you know is a boy, comes to you and tells you from tomorrow, I'm a girl. You know, like how do you know, that's, and I know this is issues that some parents are dealing with, are having to deal with. And I think this is
and also just saying accept. It's kind of
accept from your child.
It's hard.
You know, your child is a boy.
Because see it from our perspective also.
He's telling you from tomorrow because you guys are gonna be parents one day. You know, and sometimes these things are easy. You know, like when you're looking from the other side, but when it's your child who's coming and telling you, you know, your child is a boy. You know, maybe they're how old? Maybe 9, 10, and then they're telling you from tomorrow, you know, I'm a girl. You know, like, do you just accept and move on? Or maybe do we discuss this in the next show that we're going to have?
I think we'll do that.
Okay.